Hello my friends and welcome back to Cornerstone Season 2. That's right, we're getting into it today. In the last episode I promised you a lot of things. I promised you building, I promised you armor, and wow, I nearly gave myself a heart attack. I forgot I was wearing this thing. We're gonna keep wearing it. We're gonna do building, we're gonna get some armor done, and one of the things we need to build is a shop for the wool that we have been collecting, and we've been collecting a fair bit of it, so I think we're ready to get our first shop built. Before that though, I am getting tired of living in this little house over here. I think we've outgrown it. I'm running out of wall space to put chests. We need an actual starter home. An actual starter house, a building in which I can have a dedicated storage space. Also, look how gorgeous jungle leaves are in that snowy biome. That's a beautiful color. Anyway, I'm thinking I'm gonna build it on top of that little hill. Gonna overlook our village, a bit of a castle. I need to gather resources for that though, and one of those resources is calcite. Now, I don't have a single piece of calcite to my name, but luckily my friends, Chuckles is online, and he is a very generous fellow, willing to let me purchase some calcite from him. So let's come over here and grab some of our diamonds. I think he said I needed 7 of them, and let's go and meet up with him. There is the man. Look at him, dressed in full diamond armor and throwing the gorgeous white block in my direction. Well, let's go ahead and do that. I believe, yep, that is a diamond per stack. Thank you, kind sir. Let's go home. Calcite, I thought was going to be the difficult one, but thanks to Mr. Chuckles, it was the easiest resource to gather, and that is 1 down. I need to clear out these trees and gather a bunch more. Before I can do that, I have a small problem, in that I've already made 2 diamond axes, and they are both on their last legs. So before we build, we're going to do some enchanting. I think I'm jealous of Chuckles. I would like to look like Chuckles. We're going to do some enchanting. What can we get on an axe at the moment? Unbreaking. So one thing we can do, and this is something I didn't know was possible, right? In an anvil, you can throw 2 different tools and you can combine them. If they're 2 damaged tools like these, their durability is added, but it looks like that's more than just the 2 durabilities added. That's quite a bit of a bonus, but it costs a couple of levels. You can also do this in a grindstone, but it adds less. That is still more than just adding the 2 numbers, but it's for free. Doesn't cost anything. I don't think we're gonna do that at all because I have access to mending villagers. I just need experience. Also, while we're traveling, the more astute among you has probably noticed top left of my screen, and yeah, we're busy chatting about it in the chat, whatever. Top left of my screen, something interesting is going on. I have my coordinates and my FPS permanently displayed. That is because I am currently no longer... Someone has a tunnel? Wow. I'm currently no longer using Optifine because I would like to have access to replay mod, and the 2 are apparently no longer compatible with one another. So alternatives had to be considered, and among those apparently sodium was rated very highly. So I now have sodium installed, and unfortunately sodium doesn't do everything that Optifine does, so down in the description there's a whole list of mods. I think I have 6 of them, 5 or 6 of them installed now, and all those mods do is they make up the functionality that Optifine would have delivered to this game. However, I have to say, Optifine never got my FPS above 100. And I'm quite steadily above 160. That's really impressive. So here we go, that is the Ender. I'm not sure exactly who built it, but as far as I understand it is up for grabs. Oh, that's terrifying. This is purely an XP farm, it does nothing more nothing less. But that is okay, we just need the XP. Are these my first Endermen that I've killed? Interesting. Well, I'm gonna stand here for a while. We're gonna get up to mid-40s or so levels, and then we're gonna go home and do some enchanting. Before we continue, I just want to say we're having lovely weather in South Africa at the moment. It's raining today. It's just beautiful. So if the rain catches through the audio, I do apologize. I will try and edit it out. But let's get to some enchanting. I have 45 levels on me and a lot of tools that need fixing. So let's see, we're gonna need some of this stuff. I'll take some books with me as well. Let's see what we can get. Unbreaking 3 is usually a pretty good thing. It's just problematic that let's actually go make the armor as well. That my axes are already bugged. I would like to get Fortune on an axe. I don't know if that's better than Silk Touch, but I always tend to go with Fortune. I have a chest plate. So let's make the rest, like so. And then let's come and see what kind of enchantments we can get on these. Fire protection, garbage. Unbreaking, fire protection. The helmet had, no, the boots had something else. The boots had just protection 3. That's also not great. Books, feather falling 4 is a good enchantment, but I'd rather just enchant tools. Okay, let's go ahead and put Unbreaking 3 on an axe and see, hopefully we get something else with it. Nope, nothing else. That is horrible. Unbreaking 3 again! Yay! Oh, I have a sword. I could try the sword. The sword I need looting. There's nothing good. Okay, let's try this again. No! Dang it! Twice in a row. Axes only getting Unbreaking. That sucks. Efficiency 4 is better. All the tools will have that. Efficiency 4 on a book would actually be nice, because I've got 2 efficiency 4 pickaxes that might need. Hey! Okay, we're doing that. Can I get that on another book? No. Aqua Affinity is good. Depth Strider is also good. What are my axes getting? Unbreaking. I'm gonna put Depth Strider on some boots. Ooh! Ooh! I like that. That's pretty good. Would have been better with Protection 4, but, you know, it is what it is. Really? Give me something other than Unbreaking 3. I've got one more enchant to roll. Smite on a sword isn't bad. I prefer Smite on an axe and Sharpness on a sword. Fine, let's try another axe. No! I only have enough levels on me right now for one more enchantment, so let's see if this axe is better. Please be better. It's better, but not what I wanted. Damn. I mean, okay, that's a good axe. That is a good axe. That is a terrible axe. Let's go ahead. Yeah, you're the terrible one. We're gonna take that off. I have a mending book that we are going to throw onto our new axe. Like so. And I'm thinking the Silk Touch axe can get efficiency 5. Let's rename this one. Okay, well, I've got so much other stuff that I also want to get enchanted that I'm gonna have to... What? Oh, that I'm gonna have to go back to the Ender a couple of times, I suspect. But we have an axe, and I can now go and mend this axe. My friends, it has been hours since the last clip. Hours of me sitting on my butt and enchanting. Over and over and over again. But it's been worth it, because I now have fully enchanted gear. Pretty much as good as it needs to be, I think, except for the bow. But everything else is now grand. And I'd say my sparkling diamond armor looks just as good as Chuckles' armor did earlier in this episode. But now we can get back on track. I need to gather resources. Lots and lots of resources. Alright, my friends, in this chest behind me, I have what I think are all of the base resources that I'm going to need to get this starter castle house thing on top of our hill built. Now, these are raw resources, some of them might need to be converted, but this is what I've got. Calcite, quartz, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, even some diorite are going to be my stark white colors. Then I've got the dark deep slate tiles to contrast that, and to fill the gaps in between that I've got some greys in the form of stone, stone brick, andesite, and some oak wood. The spruce and the dark oak I think are going to be more the high accent colors, like the columns here and there. They're not going to be used in large volumes like the rest, I think. But for now, I think it's finally time for us to see if all that effort to get, well, sodium and all of these other mods working paid off or not. Because I'm gonna try my first replay, my first time-lapse of 1.18. Roll that clip, my friends. What a time lapse. That took forever. And I know it doesn't necessarily look like I've done a lot, but these two front towers, they took a really long time to build. Because I didn't really know what I was going to do with the central white piece or how I wanted these corners to be. I know I wanted them to be kind of rounded. I didn't even know that they weren't going to be the same height or anything. So all that was happening. I was figuring that out as I was building it. But I'm very, very happy with how they did turn out so far. Now obviously they're not done. They do still need something to happen at the top. They can't just end like that. And this space over here needs to have something done. And that's going to be my bedroom. This is where my spawn point will be set 99% of the time from here on forward. And I don't know what's going to happen at the top. We'll figure all that out as we go. But here is the making of my long-term storage room. And there's a lot in here. I also counted like an idiot, and it would have saved me so much time and effort if I had counted correctly, because you can see that that tower isn't lined up with this doorway, which I would have really liked it to be. But I had thought initially that this doorway was only too wide, because my passageways just kind of worked out that way. I don't know why. But this section here has 7 columns of chests, while the rest only have 6. This one was only supposed to have 6, not 7. And I think in the time lapse there's even a point where I widened this by 1, because this side had 7 instead of 6, and a lot of things happened. I was counting badly. it was late at night when I built that. But anyway, for now, I've got a whole lot of chests in here. I haven't moved anything in except for these two bottom chests, which were kind of my project chests. I was using these to store things that I was using to build with the whole time, so I didn't have to run all the way back down there and come up, and that would have ruined the time lapse because I think we only have a 10 chunk render distance on the server. So I still need to do that, but before I can do that, before I just move things in, I would like to spend a proper amount of time and just organize it thoroughly and correctly. Make sure I'm happy with where everything is, because I'm going to be using that storage room for the foreseeable future on the server. So for that, I'm going to need a lot of item frames, and I'm going to need leather. I don't have any leather, because in the beginning of this episode, I spent all of my leather making books to enchant with, and to get this excellent set of tools and gear. And the sun is setting, so I need to gather up leather again. That's going to happen kind of in the background, and I think we've done enough on that main starter castle for the time being. And it definitely has turned out to be quite a bit bigger than I had initially anticipated. I wasn't thinking to have as many chests, and I definitely was not expecting these towers to be quite as big as they have turned out to be. But it is what it is, and I'm very, very happy with the way these towers look. And I suspect I'm gonna go way out over there real quick onto that little hill and see what they look like from a bit of a distance. Okay, I took great care to get onto this hill without looking backwards, so let's do the reveal together. Ooh, they're big. They're very big. I might actually want to add another layer or two of tiles on top of that, just to bulk that top up a bit, because the bottom is very bulky. Maybe not. I don't know what the roof shape is going to be just yet, but I like that. I like that they're not on the same level as well. But that does now leave us with what we're going to be doing for the rest of this episode, because, well, we're only about 15 minutes into this episode, I think. That's a guess. I haven't edited anything together yet, but that means we're only about halfway. I think we can squeeze in another small build. Now, I was planning on doing my first shop on the server in this episode and getting that built, but unfortunately, we haven't quite decided where our shopping district is going to be on the server, and I don't just want to go and build my shop somewhere and then have to move it 2 days from now. So instead, I'm going to hold off on that. I have started separating my wool colors a bit, and these chests will just stay here for the time being until I've actually started stocking up the shop. I am still gathering more, and you can see here I've got a little bit more coming in, but that's already a lot. That's almost 5 full chests if you didn't have these little space holders at the end. So that's a lot. That really is a lot of wool. But we're not going to build a shop now. Instead, I think I want to decorate out this part here, this cave entrance, and build our first little village house. Unfortunately, I think it does mean that this building needs to go away. It needs to move, or be torn down at the very least, so that I have enough space to really build and flex my muscles, if one can call them that, my brain, my creative mind, which is very tired after that, to get enough space here. And I do have a villager in here. I have not the most valuable of Fletchers, but you know, he is a Fletcher that I've gotten up to master level. I don't want him to die, so I need to relocate him to another house. And I do think that the easiest way to do that is to just get rid of those trapdoors, get rid of his bed, and get rid of his workstation, and just leave him until the sun sets. We're not even at midday yet, so he needs to go off and he needs to go and do his thing for a little bit. And I'll keep an eye on him. Whatever house he chooses, that's the house he's going to be boarded into when night falls. There are 1 or 2 empty houses down here, I believe. He should find a bed. And while he remains the only wandering villager at the moment, I'm going to start by tearing this down and his old home while we wait for that sun to set. The sun is setting, and it seems like he wants to go in here. Are there... There are already 2 villagers in here. Can you fit in? I don't want them to get out, though, so get your butt in there. We're gonna go ahead and do that. No, no, you do not. You do not get to leave, sir. You sneaky bugger, you just went for the nearest bed. Okay, well, now there are 3 beds in there for you guys. Now then, with our villager safely tucked away in that house over there, his old house removed and a bit of space cleared here, I think we are about as ready to get going as we're gonna be. The first thing I think I want to do is we're gonna raise this up another level, and that coincidentally works out really well for us because I want my floor level to be on this height over here. Why is the sun setting? Why? Up next, I think I'm just gonna come in, I'm gonna lay out a little bit here. We've got 5, we can go 7 for the main block, and then I'm thinking this should be a square. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. I think that's a square. Yeah. Okay, so that is a square, and this I'm probably gonna make a bit of a tower. So let's go up a couple of blocks with this. Onto the side of which I think we can go ahead and add a wooden structure, something that might be newer, perhaps a later addition to said structure, with a bit of a patio out the front. Nothing massive or grand, this is a tiny little home, the only purpose of which is for us to ultimately get to our wool farm in the back. So I think something like that will probably be pretty good. Yeah, this is going to be taller, it is going to protrude through, but I think I want to build the roof first. And this roof, I'm thinking, whoops, I need to be back up there, is going to be made out of dark oak, primarily. So I think I want a level to be here, a layer of slabs that is going to run all the way across. And this is why I haven't raised this stone up too much. I want this roof to sit in line with this like so. I might end it early though. Yeah, let's do that. Let's cut 2 pieces of it off, just like that. And then from here, we'll get back to that. Let's go ahead and put the stairs up next, which I want to run, not there, in this line like so. Shall we? Let's switch these over to slabs instead. And because of that, I'm thinking that I'm actually gonna bring this further. Because I want this little tower to step in, I've decided now. Just like that. And that can run all the way back to there. Okay, so our stairs come up to this point. This stair needs to go away. And then here on the front, if we're going to be building a roof out of stairs, it's fairly simple because then we can just do back-to-back stairs like these to get our slope done without too many issues. There we go, and we can do a reverse stair on the end. We can actually, now that I'm thinking about it, do that to said reverse stair, and I like the look of that very much. The gable will need filling in here on the front, but that's fine. We have plenty of oak. I did spend quite a bit of time gathering it. Just don't have enough on me right now, but once that is all in, we can continue our roof in this direction up to there. The stone will also have to come up. Yeah, let me get some of the work on this roof done and I'll bring you guys right back. There we go, the preliminary roof is up and it is just a regular 45-degree slope just with stairs. And then on this side we can come in and step the stonework in one row. I've also brought this grass up over that previous edge just a little bit to make it make sense here at the back of the building as well. There we go. That's a little bit taller. I think we can go one more row from there. Just like so. And now we have a bit of an initial tower here that I'm thinking we're gonna need some stairs to expand. But that is already starting to look much better than the original little house that used to sit right here. And what I've decided to do at the top of this little tower of ours is to actually step it out a little bit. So I've got these stairs on all the corners that just step it out in all 4 directions, just 1 block. And that allows me to bring in some of these pillars, just another wooden accent to draw some of that darker wood that we have at the bottom, the dark oak planks and logs. Just draw that up to the top of the build, allow your eye to flow a bit easier. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'll do a ladder or something over here in that corner. So with a simple post on the inside, we can come in and we can place ladders all the way up to here, which will allow us access to the top. Once we're up here, I didn't bring enough resources, but that is okay. I think I do have enough resources. Let's do this instead. I'm gonna go ahead and place these stairs on top of my little posts, and that just caps them off. That just finishes them very nicely, I think. Just something like that on all 4. Like so. Now, the reason I'm capping everything off on top, and I'm gonna do that here on the back of these stairs as well, is that we're on the edge of the snow biome right here. And you can see it on top of that house, and even on top of everything that I've built earlier in this episode. The moment we have a weather change and it starts raining out here, everything flat is just gonna get covered in snow. Now, it might not be because I've got grass here, but it's close enough, this building specifically. Once we start building, say, there or these, I might not worry about it so much. But for this one, I'm gonna worry about it, and we're just gonna make sure that it can't happen. And then we have, if we step back a little bit, a very lovely little tower and a house. And I like that very much. I think we need some spruce for this though. And with spruce we can go ahead and add in all kinds of neat little details like these. And by using spruce for these, we are inadvertently, well, or, you know, on purpose, bringing in that floor color that we have from the bottom into the rest of these builds. And I think I want one there and one there as well, because we do have this spruce floor over here that I have now introduced elsewhere in the build as well. And of course, a spruce door. Whoops, we forgot some. Right there, and right there. And that, I think, is basically going to be our build done. And it looks significantly better. I haven't finished the patio, the porch area, so let's do that. I think let's keep it relatively simple, and we just do something like that. Do I have any more walls on me? I do. Just like that. And that's pretty good. I like that. I might just need to extend this. No, I have a better idea. Let's use these. I like using trapdoors just as the edge because it's a very thin line. It doesn't necessarily look like it's the same as your floor surface. I'm gonna need one more wall. There we go. And that, my friends, I think is the finished exterior of our wool farm. We can now, through this, access the wool farm quite easily without it being too obvious. I mean, You can see through that window that there's something back there, but this looks much better than just a hole in the ground. Wouldn't you guys agree? One final little detail I'm thinking is just to add a little splash of green, just like that out front. And I think we're done. My friends, I think we are done. Not just with the build, but with the episode. It's been a long one in the making. I've spent a lot of time making this episode, particularly that big build that doesn't really look like it's gotten anywhere in the back. I like what we've done. My friends, you know how this works by now. If you've enjoyed it, like, subscribe, comment down below and tell me what you thought. Did you enjoy this episode? I really hope you did. Until next time, my friends, have an absolutely brilliant one.